Hey Z. Okay, so here are your finals, and then here is your contact sheet. So what the assignment asked for, and I know it wasn't entirely clear, and so in the future, I will clarify this. I never know from, you know, class to class what's going to confuse people. Because last term when I taught this, nobody was confused by this, but this term it's like more than half of each section of this class that I'm teaching is really confused. So don't sweat it. It's apparently something has changed in the verbiage that I didn't notice, a subtle change, and all of a sudden nobody can understand it. So anyways, what we wanted was for you to go out and shoot 40 separate images, 20 of a broad landscape and 20 of something close up to you, something within, say, I don't know what exactly it said, but like less than 10 feet away from you or something like that. And then for the 20 of the broad landscape, what we actually wanted was 10 separate compositions. And then 2 photographs of each composition. 1 photograph with the incident meter readings and 1 photograph with the reflective meter readings. And then the same thing for close-ups. For the what would have been 20 photographs, we actually wanted 10 compositions, and then 2 photographs of each composition, 1 with incident readings and 1 with reflective readings. And so what you gave me, you did give me about 40 images here, roughly 39, but whatever. You gave me 2 compositions and then about 20 different exposures of 2 identical compositions, which was not going to teach you anything about your meter. Oh no! But with the Sekonic 308, it's a fine meter. It does both flash and incident, so it's going to work for you for this class, and it's going to work for future classes as well. There's nothing wrong with that meter. It's not as robust as other meters and doesn't give you as many options, but it's fine. It's okay. And so I guess my question then would be, how did you get different meter readings in each mode when you are just metering the same thing? Like there's, if you didn't really move, I guess there's a slight move here. You moved from here to here. There's sort of a slight move, but then all the rest of these are the same. I don't really see how your exposure should have changed. I don't know why it would have, because it's clear. It's like a slightly hazy but mostly sunny day. So I don't see how somebody else did this. Maybe I feel like a number of people did this. Like gave me 2 compositions and 20 shots of each composition, and I was like, so why does your meter reading change then? I'm wasting video time. So let me explain this to you. So in reflective mode, the handheld meter, is working very much like your built-in meter, your meter that's built into your camera. It's going to give you exposure settings that will yield a medium gray local value out of whatever bit of subject matter you're pointing it at. In incident mode, the meter is actually reading the amount of light available to you in the area that you're shooting. So what's important here is if you want your camera to yield good exposure readings in reflective mode, you need to point it at something that has medium gray local value. What has medium gray local value? Well, a gray card. Or living green deciduous foliage also does. It looks darker, it looks darker than medium gray to the human eye, but that's because it's actually reflecting a broader range of light than is visible to humans in the human dynamic range, because the living green deciduous foliage is also reflecting infrared light and ultraviolet light that we can't see, and so it's actually much brighter in reality. It's much brighter than it looks to us because it's reflecting more light. The camera can pick up infrared and ultraviolet light, so living green deciduous foliage is actually medium gray. In incident mode, like I said, the meter is actually just reading the amount of available light. And so the way that you would get a really accurate reading in incident mode is one, to have the Lumisphere on and up. I don't know if in the 308 there's actually an up mode, but there's definitely an on mode. So the Lumisphere is covering up the light sensor, and then you'll actually place the meter in an area of the scene that you're shooting that has about the average quality of light that your subject matter is in, about the same quality, and then you will face that Lumisphere back towards the camera's lens to get a reading. Now, out here in the landscape, you're shooting areas of both shade and sun. So best case scenario, you actually do an incident meter reading in the shade and an incident meter reading in the sun, and then you take an average of those two exposure values, and that's what you give us. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. That being said, the two compositions that you gave me to look at are both lovely. Nice leading line in the trail. Very good use of depth of field here because it's nice to have some detail all the way back through. And then shooting directly into the sun seemed to work out okay for you here. I mean, it's kind of lovely because this leading line of the path is taking us directly into the sun, which of course has all the visual emphasis because it's the brightest thing. So that makes sense. And then you've got some nice blue flowers or berries or something over here that's really lovely to look at. And then, you know, a center crazy old gnarly tree is always a big winner optically. It's okay, this is fine, there's nothing wrong with this. The horizon line is in such a place, excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. So, I think that about covers it. But what you did do that's awesome is you labeled your images with your meter, your readings, the readings that you used. And I know I didn't specifically require it in the assignment because it's just so much for people to get out there and use the meter. So, but in the future, you'll always be required to label your images with your exposure values. Okay, great. And then lastly, so you gave me here 2 JPEGs. What I want is actually a very long multi-page PDF document. I'd like you to break down your listen to me, your contact sheet into probably several contact sheets. Like usually people successfully put like, you know, anywhere from 4 to 12 images on a contact sheet, and so you'll end up giving me anywhere from 2 to 4 contact sheets so that I have bigger images to look at, and then one enlarged view of a final per page. So this 4 images on one page is, you know, not what I want. I want 1 image per page because I like to blow these things up real big, and this is as big as I can get it when I do full screen, so I really want it to be able to look at a much bigger, higher quality image. So always make a PDF, don't give me JPEGs, and make it into 1 multi-page PDF. So everything that I require for the assignment, just put it all together in 1 multi-page PDF, minus the write-up. The write-up you just embed in the discussion forum, but like in the future, so all your contact sheets, all of your finals, your enlarged finals, all of your equipment shots, and then your light meter shot will all be 1 multi-page PDF. And these PDFs get pretty long. They'll end up being like almost 10 pages sometimes, and that's fine. And so hopefully that works out for you. Okay, thanks, Z.